All right, so we've got Dan here, and Dan's a professional lawn bowler. So he's got some supinator issues. No, he's not a professional lawn bowler. But actually, having said that, lawn bowlers, obviously it's really important. I do treat the odd one, and they're enormously competitive, aren't they? I don't know if you've got any, Dan, but they may play, almost every day if they can, or every second day. And, you know, it's, as much as we shit and giggle about it, it is highly competitive. But I'm going to do a little bit of work in supinator. The only reason I mentioned supinator is because in lawn bowls, obviously delivering the ball with an open hand is really important. So if they're tight and their supinator is really tight, or even their pronator teres, because those two obviously work on each other, work and oppose each other, then obviously they may deliver the ball just unevenly. And, you know, that's the difference between bragging rights when they're back in the club room. So, you know, because they don't have that much else going on in their lives, that they just like, yep, it's all about who's done what after in the club room. So supinator is going to be, here's our brachioradialis here. If we roll off there, and then obviously we've got our main flexors here, it's going to sit in that little area there. Now, interesting thing about supinator as well is, remember, we've got the radial nerve that comes through down here as well, and it actually does pass through the supinator as well. So just every now and then we can get some, like, a little bit of radial nerve sort of entrapment into that supinator. But if they're getting pain referring down their arm while you're doing this technique, you might be just touching up the radial nerve, but that's probably, you'll have to be pushing really hard. You're pushing back up against the bone here, so the pressure doesn't have to be massive. So once again, it's really, really about comfortability for your clients. So for me, when I'm working supinator, as much as I want to get in there and work the muscle with my thumbs, and I'm all about saving my thumbs, I'm actually going to come in, I'm actually going to use this index finger here as my guide. So try and bring your clients open as much as you can. And then you're just going to sink down, find the edge of the brachioradialis, and just sink into that tissue, and then work just nice. Is that comfortable, mate? That's all right? He was hesitant that it was going to be terrible, but has no faith. And then work it all the way up, just short of that sort of anterior elbow margin. So I'm just going in a little bit deeper there, mate. Still okay? Yeah. Still good? Yeah. And then what you can do is just try and open the hand a little bit as you work through this area. Now, I work supinator not just on its own, because I'd actually come over and do some work on the pronator teres as well at the same time. But in terms of getting access to supinator, this is an absolute ripper. And especially with a lot of your throwing athletes, it is pretty important too, because there's a level of supination, especially if you're talking about, you know, baseballers or cricketers or javelin throwers or any of those doing that throwing action. Remember, you also got your your brachialis muscle in here. I've got a video on that as well. But once again, you push the biceps brachii out of the way and then sink down there, and that's where that brachialis as well. So supinator brachialis and pronator teres are really great for those throwing athletes, so make sure you get onto those. So sink down. Yes, there is a trigger point in there. Yes, you can hit it. Yes, it'll refer, but this is really more about just opening up and trying to free the supinator as much as you can. Down like so. All right, so remember, your margins is going to be the brachioradialis, then obviously your flexor group. It sits in that little groove there. Save your thumbs, don't go smashing in them. Use the index finger, try and lead forward with that first sort of joint, and then just really broad approach, try and open up as much as you can. Supinator.